Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. If you're just joining us here today, this is the 13 in my series of minute clinics here. This week we're focusing on chronic pain. Can the emotion code help with that? So if you just joined us, just put your name in the comment section here. Just add your name to the comments and where you're from. So this is the, again, 13th in the series of minute clinics. So welcome if you just joined us here today. Are you one of those people that suffer from chronic hip pain, maybe back pain, maybe shoulder, neck pain, something that you've experienced for quite a long time? Maybe it's unexplained. Maybe you've tried all the lotions, potions, all kinds of different therapies, and it either doesn't get better or it only gets better to a certain point and then it comes back. Are you one of those people? Or perhaps maybe you know one of those people that are dealing with chronic pain. That's what I'm here to do today in our minute clinic, is help to identify some of the underlying reasons for that chronic pain, and hopefully we can lessen or diminish some of that chronic pain for you here right on our minute clinic. And that's what it's all about. So thanks for joining us here today. If you just joined us, just put your name in the comment section here below. And welcome to the minute clinic. So many years ago, I was in a pretty serious motorcycle accident, and I was told that I might not be able to walk very well again after that. I was also told that I wouldn't be able to bend my knee. I'd be lucky if I could bend my knee to 90 degrees. Told a number of things. I was going to get arthritis in that area, joint, in my knee joint, also all kinds of other things. So here we are, almost over 6 years later. I'm walking, even doing some hiking. I'm riding my bike. I can bend my knee over 90 degrees, 115 degrees or more. I don't have any arthritis or in that particular knee. And why do you think that is? Well, it's probably a combination of things. Number one is I release negative emotions and thoughts with the emotion code that are stopping, blocking, or holding my body back from doing its job. And its job is what? Is to heal. We are designed to heal ourselves. And so when we're in that place of injury or stress, the body doesn't function so well. It can only do so much. We need to help it along the way. So after using the emotion code and body code and some therapy and a few other little things, I found myself in a better place than I was told I would ever be. So again, that could be you too. Did you know that chronic pain is something that majority of people experience in their lives? And especially as we get older, a lot of us have our aches and our discomforts that we're dealing with. And most of the time we've been told, well, you know, you're getting older, it's because you're old. And I always wondered about that because I had some experiences for many years as a massage therapist where I would have patients come in with different various conditions, and I remember one time this patient said to me, you know, I got this problem with my knee. And I asked him, so what's the problem? He said, well, you know, it really bothers me when I walk and I have a hard time bending it. And so whenever I do certain things, it really bothers me. The doctor said, told me that I've probably got arthritis in that knee, and that's why that knee bothers me. And he said, it's most likely due to your age. Well, I thought about that for a minute, and I thought, well, okay. So I'm going to ask that person, how old are you? And they said, well, I'm 72. And so I said, okay, you're 72 years old, okay, and it's your right knee that's giving you that problems. How old is your right knee? He said, well, I guess it's 72. I said, okay. So I said, so how old is your left knee then? Well, he said, well, it must be, well, I guess it's 72. So I thought, well, if you're 72 and both of your knees are 72, yet you don't have any problem with your left knee, but you have a problem in your right knee, and your doctor told you it was arthritis, and probably your age. I thought, well, if it was just your age, then both knees would bother you. So there's something wrong, something not right with it. So let's see what we can do to help you out. And that's basically when I started to realize that for most of us, we might have heard that before. Well, the problem with your back or your this or your that is because of your age. And no, the problem with that you have is because there's something not right with it. And so that's when I really started to explore other ways of helping people with chronic pain. And I came across the emotion code that was in 2007. Some of you may have seen this book before. I came across a book here in 2007, and it was by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And he's a holistic chiropractor from the States. And it says here, how to release your trapped emotions for abundant health, love, and happiness. And with a foreword actually by, some of you may know of him, Tony Robbins. And lots of support here. Andrew Alexander Lloyd, PhD, and Greg Braden have all support this type of work, the emotion code. And why do they support this type of work? Well, because we need, when we're looking at our health, being healthy involves a number of things. Number one, you need to be, for most of us, you need to be physically healthy, you need to be mentally healthy, you need to be emotionally healthy, and spiritual healthy. So in order to have optimum health, your health is not just a physical thing, it's many things. Your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health all fit together to make you healthy. It's never just one thing. If it was just one thing, it would be very easy to deal with. But it's never just one thing that determines our health. So welcome if you just joined us here today. This is the 13th in my series of Minute Clinics. And this week here, we are focusing on chronic pain. So if you or anyone you know are dealing with chronic pain, unexplained pain, maybe it's neck pain, back pain, hip pain, something that you've experienced for many years, unexplained pain for the most part, I'm here to tell you that we can probably delete it, lower, lessen, or delete it within minutes using the emotion code program. And how do I know? Because I've been doing it for many years. Since 2007, I started doing this work with my patients that were dealing with all kinds of pain issues as a massage therapist. And what I found sometimes were there were the same patients were coming back over and over with the same problems. Some of them were that way. It wasn't a high percentage, but it was enough to make me think that there must be something else going on. So like Dr. Nelson, I started to research other aspects of pain, and when I came across the emotion code here, that's when I started to realize how much emotions can play a role in our chronic pain. So again, if you just joined us here, just say hi, put your name down in the comment section here. I'm doing chronic pain minute clinics here for Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 a.m. Pacific, for the month of June. So you can tag me here as well if you like to bring some friends along. I'm here to work on a couple of volunteers that are dealing with chronic pain, something that they've had for more than 6 months, probably more than a year. Something that they have tried many things, and a lot of things haven't worked. So, or they've worked to some degree. So I'm here to explore with you maybe some of the part of that chronic pain, if not all of it, may be due to what we call unprocessed or trapped emotions. And these unprocessed or trapped emotions get caught up in our energy field, and they can affect our body's ability to function or ability to heal. It can affect all those different things when we're dealing with chronic pain. So these emotions are generated by different organs and glands. And so we're going to use a 7-step process here. This is called the emotion code chart. We're using a 7-step process here to identify if there are any emotions that are tied into your chronic pain, whether it's hip, knee, back, neck pain. And if there are any emotions there, we're going to delete them for you here in our Minute Clinic. So if you just joined us today, welcome. You can put your name in below here in the comment section. Give your name, where you're from. I'm looking for 2 volunteers today that are dealing with chronic pain so that I can help them out. Maybe help them to lower, lessen, maybe diminish it. Maybe it's affecting your ability to function. Maybe it's stopping you from doing certain activities that you'd love to be able to do. Who knows? Maybe there's many other things. So it's something that most of us have or will deal with in our lives. The majority of us will have experienced back pain at least a few times in our life. That's the most common one, is back pain, it seems. However, if it's chronic and it's been going on for a long time, and you've tried all the different lotions and potions and tried many different therapies, and it's still not fully resolved, it may be that there's some emotions tied into that chronic pain. So I'm here to work with 2 volunteers to see if I can help you lower, lessen, or diminish, or delete that chronic pain. And I've been doing it since, this worked since 2007. So what I need from you as a volunteer is I need where you're feeling that chronic pain, whether it is in your knee or your hip or your shoulder or your neck or your back. Where is that chronic pain that you've had for a number of years, months or years? So I need to know where it is for you. And in this case, we're not talking whole body pain, because that could be a little bit more involved. We're talking a neck pain or a shoulder or lower back or hip, foot pain, something you've been dealing with. And so I'm here to help you delete it. So we need to know where you're dealing with this chronic pain, number 1. Number 2, what's the severity of this chronic pain for you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being very severe. Is it a 6 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10? How is it impacting your life? Is it affecting your ability to function, or maybe your ability to do certain activities? Or maybe it's just stopping, blocking, or preventing you from just doing a lot of things that you'd enjoy to do. So again, we need, where's the chronic pain? What's the severity on a scale of 1 to 10? I need your permission to do the work. And then you can update me here in a minute or so after your session. Let me know how you're feeling. So welcome if you just joined us here. We're doing our 13th in a series of Minute Clinics. And this week we're focusing on chronic pain. Unexplained pain that you may have had for many years. You've tried all the lotions and potions and you haven't found things that have really helped you solve that issue. Maybe you've been able to manage it okay, but it's still there and it's still impacting you. Maybe it's affecting your sleep. Maybe it's affecting your ability to do just regular activities around the house, or just or maybe some more active things you like to do that it's stopping or holding you back. So I'm here to tell you that most of this chronic stuff is tied into what we call trapped emotions, or unprocessed emotions. And these emotions are generated by different organs and glands. So how do we do the work? We do what we call a 7-step process here, and we use, or the 7 keys. We use, first of all, we use the emotion code chart here. And the emotion code chart is a chart that is filled, you can see it behind me here, it's got 60 different emotions on here. These are some of the most common emotions we tend to feel and tend to hold on to or trap in our energy field. And they're generated by different organs and glands. And these emotions, once these organs and glands are stimulated, they generate these emotions, and these emotions can end up anywhere in your body, in a muscle, in an organ, in a gland, in a nerve, in a joint. They can end up anywhere. So I'll give you an example here. Row number 2 is spleen stomach row. Well, a lot of times when there's problems with the stomach or the spleen, we're going to have some type of abdominal discomfort. Maybe it'll reflect into our lower back area. Maybe it's an unhappy stomach. Maybe your stomach's not too happy, and if it's not happy, it's probably going to generate some discomfort somewhere or affect your ability for your digestive system to function. There's a lot of reasons. So that could be anxiety, for example, nervousness, worry. They're all generated by the stomach or the spleen area, and they have different connections to different muscles. One of the most common organs and glands that are involved with back pain especially are the kidneys and bladder. The kidneys have an energetic connection to your upper back, your neck, your jaw, your upper shoulders. They also have a connection to your core muscles, lower back muscles, your psoas muscles, and your inner core muscles for your abdominal area. And that's really where our center of gravity is. That's where our body operates around our center of gravity, which is in our hip or lower back area. So quite often kidneys are involved, or emotions generated by kidneys are involved when it's a lower back problem. Also, the kidneys and bladder are in the same row, and the bladder generates the same type of emotions as things like, blaming, dread, fear are some of the emotions generated by the kidneys. Also things like conflict and what else we got here? Terror, stuff like that. They're generated by the kidneys and bladder. And it's interesting, the bladder connects to all of the muscles that run from the base of your spine, at the base of your spine at the back, all the way up the back to the base of your neck. So all those muscles along that spine are connected to the bladder. And if the bladder is generating these different emotions or storing these different emotions, they could end up in muscles along the spine, anywhere along there, ending up, or a joint somewhere along there. Also, the bladders connect to your lower legs, right? The muscles of your lower legs, especially on the outside of your lower legs, have a tie-in to the bladder. So all these different organs and glands, most of them have some connection to some physical structure in our body outside of that organ or gland. So if you just joined us here today, welcome to our 13th in our series of Minute Clinics. And this week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are doing Minute Clinics for those of you that are dealing with chronic pain. Maybe chronic back pain, neck, shoulder, hip pain, something that you've had for maybe a number of years, and maybe you've tried all the lotions and potions and many different types of therapies, and maybe maybe it's helped to some degree, but it's come back, or maybe it hasn't helped at all. I don't know. There's a lot of this goes on where we get these chronic pains and what we call unexplained pains. You know, quite often you'll hear your doctor, well, I don't know what's wrong with your hip. The x-rays, they look okay, they look good. Doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with it. It must all be in your head. Well, interesting enough, what runs the body? Does the body run the mind? or does the mind run the body? Well, I like to believe, like many other scientists and researchers have discovered over the years, that it's the mind that runs the body. So if there's something going on in the body, then perhaps we should ask the mind or the subconscious mind, what's going on? Why do I have this hip pain or this back pain or this neck pain? What's causing it? So we use a 7-step process here in trying to get to the underlying cause of this discomfort or pain that you're feeling. And most of the time, it's due to trapped or unprocessed emotions. So again, I'm looking for 2 volunteers today. If you're here, just welcome. You just joined us. Put your name below in the comments section, and if you'd like us to do some work on you here today in our chronic pain minute clinic, then just put your comments below here. We need to know, first of all, where is this chronic pain that you've had for a long time? Is it in your knee? Is it in a hip? Is it in a back? Is it in a shoulder? Is it in a lower leg? Is it in a foot? Is it in an elbow? Wherever this pain is. We need to know where it is, number 1. Number 2, we need to know how severe is this impacting you on a scale of 1 to 10. Is it a 5 out of 10? Is it a 2 out of 10? Not so bad. Is it an 8 out, 9, or 10 out of 10? How severe is this? And then the third thing we need is we need your permission to actually do the work for you. And then after we've done a session for you, we just we have you wait a minute or so, and then you can just leave us a comment below here, update us here, and leave us a comment below as to how you're doing. So again, if you just joined us, we're doing our minute clinics this week here and for the month of June here on chronic pain. So do you or your children or anyone you know suffer from chronic pain? Well, I'm here to tell you that it may not all just be a physical thing. There may be other things involved with your chronic pain. If we look at, there's a book here. I know some of you may have seen this book before. It's written by Dr. John Sarno. Dr. John Sarno, it's called The Divided Mind, the epidemic of the mind-body disorders. Epidemic of mind-body disorders. And it's a fascinating book here. There's actually some, a little comment here by Dr. Oz. Some of you know Dr. Oz, New York Times bestselling author of Healing Back Pain, Dr. John Sarno. It's interesting what he has to say here about back pain. He said, there's 2 types of disorders. Those disorders that are directly induced by the unconscious emotions, such as pain problems, gastrointestinal problems, reflux, ulcers, irritable bowel syndromes, skin disorders, allergies, and many, many others are directly induced by unconscious, we call it subconscious here, but unconscious emotions. So number 1 cause of chronic pain are subconscious emotions in our subconscious. And then there's the second part of that is those are the diseases or imbalances that in which our emotions play a role in the causation of these things, but also there are other factors like environmental factors, and some of the most common environmental factors we have are our lifestyle factors, of course. So number 1, pretty well all chronic pain is either caused from emotions in the subconscious mind or emotions and some other environmental concerns or imbalances. That's from Dr. John Sarno, The Mind, Body. And it's interesting because when I was learning to be a massage therapist many years ago, going to college for that, I had a background already in holistic health, and I'd already been doing some types of massage, reflexology and other types of massage at the time, as well as studying many aspects of holistic health. But I was caught up in this whole idea that holistic health was the way to go. And of course, my background as a massage therapist was a medical background. So here I was getting medical training in how to deal with physical health issues through massage therapy and how to deal with those. And so I was looking at the medical perspective to do with physical health problems and chronic pain and stuff like that. So bringing in my holistic background and having that medical background, I was able to look at it from two different sides. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, we need our medical system. It does wonders. When I was in an accident years ago, I was so happy to be in the hospital and get my busted up leg all fixed, my knee and everything, and shoulder. However, from the holistic point of view, the body works as a whole unit. It doesn't just work in parts. So when Dr. John Sarno is talking about the divided mind, he's talking about how modern medicine over time has taken the mind over here and the body over here, and we've separated the mind from the body. We started to study the body. Plus, we took the body and we chopped the body up into little pieces, and some people are just specialized in knees, and some people just specialize in noses, and some people just specialize in ears or whatever. And by doing that, what we've done is we divided the mind from the body, and we've taken the body, we've cut it up into different pieces, and we're not looking at how it actually works in reality. How does it actually work in reality? It actually works together. What if that hip problem that you've had for years is coming from your foot? Or maybe it started in your shoulder and worked its way to the foot. I mean, these are very, very common things that happen, and I found this very common in my practice, that a lot of times where we thought the pain was, that's not where it was coming from, that's just where it was ending up. So welcome if you just joined us here today. We're doing our 13th in series of minute clinics, and this week and for the month of June, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 a.m. Pacific time, we're focusing on chronic pain. Do your children suffer from chronic aches and pains? You know, hip pain, neck, back pain, unexplained pains. Have you tried all the lotions and potions and different therapies and maybe had some mixed results with those? Maybe you've spent a lot of money on dealing with, trying to deal with the back issue, and it's still there and it hasn't gone away. Well, I'm here to tell you that maybe some of that is emotionally based. And that's what Dr. Nelson discovered in his, before he wrote the Emotion Code book, and while he was researching a lot of this, he developed the Body Code program, actually, and he discovered that a lot of time emotions were tied into chronic pain issues. So as a certified Emotion Code practitioner and Body Code practitioner, I've been able to help people for a number of years in dealing with chronic pain. I've used it even on myself a number of times when I've had issues, and helped other family members also, as well as my clients over the years. Many clients that have suffered from chronic pain. And looking at the emotional component to chronic pain, how do emotions impact our physical health? Well, guess what? These emotions are emotions that we're talking about here, these unprocessed emotions here. You can see on the chart in behind me, or on the emotion code chart here, these 60 different emotions. There's 2 different columns, 6 different rows, and these emotions are tied into different organs and glands, which are connected to different muscles in our body. So basically, because our whole body's designed to work as a unit, as a holistic unit, something that's going on in one part of the body can certainly impact another part of the body. So sometimes chronic pain is being generated because you're generating anger, you're feeling anger, you're holding on to anger from maybe something that happened years ago. And that anger now has settled into your lower back. And now you have this back problem where you keep on repeatedly injuring your back, and it never seems to quite get better. Well, I'm going to tell you that most of it is due to unprocessed emotions. So I'm here to work with 2 volunteers here today. Anyone who would like me to do some work to see if we can lower, lessen, diminish, maybe even totally delete that chronic pain for you. This is the Chronic Pain Minute Clinic. So welcome. If you just joined us, just say hello and where you're from. You can comment in below here, and I'm looking for 2 volunteers. So I'll share a couple of stories with you. I was working on a lady many, many years ago who was in a car accident, and she'd had problems with her neck since that car accident, and this had gone on for a number of years. She tried many different types of therapy. Maybe some of you can relate to that. And she was actually, when I was getting my certification many years ago, she was one of my volunteers. She wanted to volunteer to have some of the work done. So I did, I think it was 2 sessions on her, and we actually found she had some emotions too that were generated around her heart area as well. This is what we call the heart wall, is where we have all these emotions caught up around our heart area, and they can stop or block us from giving love or receiving love. We want to protect our heart from being hurt, so we build this invisible wall of emotions. And these are very common. Probably 90% of most of us have what we call heart walls. So that's something, that's for another day, another subject. But anyways, we did some work on releasing a number of emotions from her energy field, and she reported back after her second session that neck pain that she'd had for years after the accident was gone, completely gone. So even a few months later, she had mentioned to me, I'd seen her, and she mentioned to me, yeah, I was still feeling a lot better. So what if that chronic pain that you're experiencing, maybe in your neck or your shoulder or your back or your hip, what if that is due to unprocessed emotions? Wouldn't you like to know? You know, that's something that I'm here to do. I'm here to tell you that I can help you with that. That I can, if it's emotionally based, I can identify the emotion or emotions that are part of this chronic pain cycle or this issue that you have. So I can identify them for you, and I can delete them for you, and hopefully that's going to lessen, lower, or diminish that chronic pain that you might be experiencing. So if you just joined us here today, just put your name in the comments below here. We're doing our 13th in the series of Minute Clinics here, and this month, for this week and next week, we're going to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to focus on chronic pain. So do you or your children suffer from chronic pain? Maybe it's a lower back, maybe hip, neck, shoulder pain, something that you've had, stomach pain, something that you've dealt with for a number of years. When we say chronic, we don't mean something that just happened in the last week or 2. We're talking about things that you've been living with or dealing with for a few years. So we're here to help you identify any emotions that may be connected to this chronic pain, and help you identify these emotions and help you delete them. So that's what the Chronic Pain Minute Clinic is all about. So if you're dealing with something like that, then what you can do is in our comment section, just give us your name, or you just want to give us your name and where you're from. So you're just saying hi, that's great. But if you'd like us to do a session for you, just on your comments, we want to know where is it that you're dealing with this chronic pain. What's the severity of that chronic pain on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it a 6 out of 10? Is it an 8 out of 10? How severe is it? How is it impacting your life? Is it stopping or preventing you from doing certain activities? Does it stop you from even getting started doing certain activities? What's your quality of life when you're dealing with chronic pain? It's usually not as good as it can be. So I'm here to tell you that we can identify and delete any emotional components to your chronic pain and help you maybe lower, lessen, maybe completely delete it altogether. And how do I know? Because we've been doing this for many years. working, and that's how it all started with Dr. Nelson here. When he wrote the Emotion Code book, he was talking about how he found negative emotions or unprocessed emotions that were tied into some of the chronic pain issues that his patients were presenting themselves with in his practice. He had really good success overall, but there was always that few percentage of people that had this unexplained. They would come, get their, just like me, come have their massage, their shoulder would feel really good, and then I would see them a couple of weeks later, same problem. Massage it again, it feels really good, now I'm feeling a lot looser, not so much pain, go out and see them a few weeks later, same problem. So why does that happen? Well, most of the time that does happen because in order for the body to heal, first of all, because that's what it's designed to do, it's designed to heal itself, and that's all I'm here for, and that's all healers are here for. We're here to facilitate, to help you, to help your body to do its natural job, which is to self-heal. And when you have these unprocessed emotions or trapped emotions going on, guess what? It blocks your body's ability to heal. It stops or prevents the body from doing its natural job. And we've heard of many things can interfere with the body's natural ability to heal, but these processed emotions will do that. They'll stop, block, or prevent your body from being able to do its job, which is to heal. It's designed to heal. And it's always looking for balance, always looking to maintain balance, or homeostasis it's referred to. It's always looking for balance, maintaining balance. So when you're dealing with chronic pain issues, there's definitely an imbalance there. And it could be affecting other parts of your body. For example, if your kidneys are generating some fear and some peeved, maybe some conflict, they're generating these emotions. Well, these emotions could be settling in your upper back, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, where the kidneys are connected to also, or maybe even in your lower back, your core muscles, most notably the psoas muscle, which is a major core muscle in our lower back. Major cause of back problems is when that muscle is out of balance, and one of the major reasons it's out of balance is due to trapped emotions or unprocessed emotions. We referred to in massage therapy, we referred to the iliopsoas muscle. It's called the master emotional muscle. We hold a lot of emotions in that area. And that's probably why a lot of us deal with chronic, especially back pain, is because it's a very common area where we experience stress for a lot of reasons. Number one, because first of all, we walk upright. So that, just the gravity and everything is always pressing on our back. And two, because maybe we have an unhealthy lifestyle, or maybe we've been injured, maybe we've been in an accident or had an injury. And so that area has been under stress sometimes for many years. And in order to heal, or in order for the body to heal itself, we need to remove those blocks, things that are blocking or stopping or preventing the body from healing. And that's what a lot of these unprocessed emotions do. They stop, block, or prevent the body from doing its job. So I've worked with people over the years with everything from stomach problems to hip problems to elbow issues, problems with hands or wrists, problems with knees, problems with hips, problems even, very common. Most of us tend to hold our tension and stress in our neck and shoulder areas. It all sort of builds up from our base and builds up into our neck and shoulder areas. It's a very common area where we tend to hold on to our stress and tension, is our neck and shoulders. So for people that are dealing with chronic pain, especially in their upper back and neck and shoulder, there's usually what happens when you're under stress or duress. Usually what happens, the neck feels worse, or the shoulders feel tight or tense, or any of you have experienced that tension there. A lot of times that's due to emotions that are caught up in those areas. And there's emotions that are impacting our muscles or our joints. nerves. They can affect any part of our body, really. Organs, glands, they're all can be impacted by these negative emotions. So if you just joined us here today, just in the comment section, just add your name here, where you're from. I'm looking for two volunteers that would like to lower, lessen, or delete their chronic pain. That's why we're calling it the Chronic Pain Minute Clinic. And we are running Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific time for the month of June. So if you just joined us, if you're dealing with some chronic pain, we just ask for a couple things. Number one, just in the comment section, where are you experiencing this chronic pain? How long have you had it? What's the severity of that chronic pain on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it a 6 out of 10, an 8, a 9 out of 10? We need your permission to actually do the work here, to release the any negative emotions. If there's any negative emotions that's tied into that, we're going to delete those for you. And we need, after you've done a session, we need to for you to wait a minute or so and update us here as to how you're feeling. And maybe that you're moving that neck a little easier. Maybe that shoulder, which you couldn't raise beyond here, now you can put it up a little higher. I don't know. Everyone is different, right? It's your story. So I'm here to help you sort of figure out this story of why are you dealing with chronic pain. I can pretty well tell you that most of the time there are trapped emotions involved with chronic pain. And that's exactly, I showed you the book earlier, Divided Mind, Dr. John Cerno, who's a back pain specialist, author of Healing Back Pain as well, he states that there's usually two causes for our diseases or chronic pains and stuff. He said number one is emotions in our, he calls it our unconscious mind. We refer to it as our subconscious mind. It's either all emotionally based, a lot of times it is, or there's emotions tied in with other environmental factors. And we need to get rid of those emotions. Why? Because they stop or they block or they prevent the body from doing its job, which is to heal itself, to get better. You know, I've worked on people, I've worked on children over the years that have dealt with issues. I've worked on middle-aged adults. I've worked on older adults. I've actually we do this work with animals as well that are dealing with health issues. I've worked on cats, and I worked on dogs and horses, and I worked on a lovebird once, that was years ago, who was feeling some, they had moved to a new place, and that bird was feeling really out of sorts. It wasn't doing its singing. It's a songbird, it's supposed to be singing. Anyways, we found a few emotions there and that were tied into this disruption, this move to a whole new place. And we released those, and within minutes, guess what? That songbird was singing again. So if you like to be singing again here, and maybe feeling a bit more happy, a bit more healthy in regards to chronic pain issues, then I'm here to tell you that most of the time there's emotions involved. If not all the time, there's emotions involved. So I'm here to help you identify, using the emotion code program, help you identify and release these emotions. Hopefully it'll lessen, lower, diminish that or delete that pain for you. And I use a 7-step process. So I use the emotion code chart. That's the first one. We use the emotion code chart here. And then I use what we call muscle testing or applied kinesiology. That's a way that we can talk to the subconscious mind and ask it, what's going on? I heard, John, why do you have this issue? Yes or no, is it this, is it that? Yes or no? So we use the muscle testing, and then I use what we call proxy. And proxy is where I can move my subconscious out of the way and momentarily energetically connect your subconscious and ask your subconscious through muscle testing, hey, why does Betty have that neck pain? Is it emotional? Okay, if it's emotional, how many emotions? Can we delete them? So I stand in for you as a proxy And so I do once I'm connected to you energetically, I do the work for you. And you can watch me do the work right here on our Facebook Live. And so again, the other thing we need to know the severity. That's another step in the process here. What's the severity of this pain that you're experiencing in your knee, neck, back, shoulder, wherever it is? And then we need, of course, the most important part is we need that permission, because without that permission, we can't do the work. So whether I'm working on you or your children, once they turn 18, they're considered an adult. So in order to work on adults, we need their permission. So even if you have a child who is dealing with some back issues or shoulder problems, in order to work on your child, we need their permission. And I've done this many times over the years. I've actually worked on someone's children. We've gotten the permission from the child, and I've actually worked through the parent, almost like a surrogate, you might say. You've heard of that before, to help the child, because sometimes they didn't want to be on the call. So I would work on them through the parents. I've done that many times, work on the children through parents. If they're under the age of 18, all we need from the parent or guardian is just your permission to do some work. So once we have that permission, the severity, then what do we use? We use what we call a magnet. We use a magnet to help to delete or lower those emotions. And we take that magnet and we run along the central governing meridian. And we run that for most emotions. We're going to run it about 3 times down that central governing meridian. And we do that because that central governing meridian, which runs from here to the base of your spine, is connected to your whole energy field. So once we bring up that emotion or emotions, we bring it up from the subconscious, we bring it into conscious awareness, and that's when we use the magnet and we delete it by running it down the central governing meridian. And why do we use a magnet? Well, we use a magnet. Why? Because it's a pure form of energy. We are magnetic beings. Our body runs on magnetic energy, positive and negative charges, and runs on magnetic and light energy, as far as we know, with intention. So we're magnetic and light beings with intention. So we use a magnet, and guess what? All of our thoughts are magnetic. And that's been proven many years ago. All of our thoughts are magnetic, and it's an energy form. You could be thinking of someone. Maybe you've done this before. You've thought of someone, and next thing you know, you run into them at the mall. Or you're thinking about someone, or someone's been on your mind for the last day or two. Next thing you know, they call you up. Anyone had that experience before? I certainly have. So that's that energetic connection that we have. And it's true, that's why this is known as energy healing or bioenergetics. So we're using the body through muscle testing to talk to the subconscious mind, to ask yes or no, to find out, okay, where is this coming from? What's causing this pain? What's going on here? And then another big step here in dealing with this for most people is, first of all, is I need to be well hydrated. For me to work on you, I need to be well hydrated. And you, in receiving the work, need to be well hydrated. And I'm going to have some water here right now. I drink living water or structured water. So you need to be well hydrated as well, in order for your body to process the emotions. And basically, you need to be well hydrated anyways for your body just to function, for your muscles to function, for your organs, your glands, for your joints. Everything requires, your digestive system, everything, your immune system, everything requires good, healthy water. So if you don't do anything at all to help with your chronic pain, start drinking good, healthy water and more water. At least you can do that, because it helps to flush some of that stuff out of our system, some of that acid out of our system. Especially if we drink some slightly alkaline water, then as well, that'll help with that. And how do I know that? Well, because I've been a wellness consultant for over 25 years in energy medicine as well. And I'm working the area of healthy nutrition, healthy water, breathing healthy air, healthy sleep, all that type of stuff. So that's been my background for years. So, but I'm here to help people with chronic pain. That's why we're doing these minute clinics here for the month of June, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're at 9 a.m. here, and we're gonna go for the next week or two, see how things go, see if we get lots of volunteers, and this is an opportunity for you to perhaps lower, lessen, diminish, or maybe even delete that chronic pain that you've had for a number of years. So again, if you just joined us, you can put your name in the comment section down here below, and I'm here to share with you how emotions can impact this chronic pain, and maybe some of the things that we can do to help you deal with this chronic pain, whether it's hip, back, neck, knee pain, whatever it is. I'm here to help you deal with that, or lower, lessen, or diminish. And this is working with the mind and the body connection. It's also, again, called bioenergetics. Interesting thing, there was a study done not too long ago at Oxford University that was talking about muscle testing, applied kinesiology, which is something I've been doing since the 70s, which I learned from a master back then, how to test for nutritional supplements. Do I need vitamin C or vitamin D? Yes or no? So we're using muscle testing as a means to talk to the subconscious mind and find out what's going on in your physical body. And it's something that, again, has been around for many years. Maybe some of you have heard of Dr. John Diamond wrote on muscle testing. Many people, Dr. McCullough has talked about muscle testing as well. Many people have talked about applied kinesiology as well. And power versus force, Dr. David Hawkins talking about the hidden determinants of human behavior. Guess what? He uses muscle testing to talk to the subconscious mind to determine our various levels of consciousness. So yeah, muscle testing has been around since the early 70s. I've been using it. I learned it in the early 70s for testing nutritional supplements. And then when the Emotion Code book came out, all we needed to deal with the Emotion Code or use the Emotion Code, all we needed was the chart. The Emotion Code chart, 60 different emotions here. And then muscle testing to identify which emotions were involved in that issue we were dealing with, whether it was chronic pain, whether it was a relationship issue, it's a success issue, maybe something blocking, holding you back from something, maybe procrastination, whatever it is, there's usually emotions tied in. So I use muscle testing to help with that. So if you just joined us, you can put your name here in the comment section. We're doing our chronic pain minute clinic here for the month of May, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you'd like to join us, our next Facebook Live, our next minute clinic will be this upcoming Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Feel free to tag some friends if you like to come along. Certainly join us and bring your chronic pain issues to the call here. And if there's something you'd like us to work on, it's something I've been doing for many years, helped hundreds and hundreds of people all over the world dealing with chronic pain. So again, join us here on Wednesday, 9 a.m. for our next chronic pain minute clinic. Have a great day.